don't shoot the messenger on this one. I'm just giving you the information that I have got, which is that West Ham have made a bid for a striker, which would blow the amount of money that we paid for Lucas Paquetá out the water. That's significant because obviously Lucas Paquetá is our record ever transfer signing. Apparently we've bid more than that for this player. I'm not going to keep you waiting. Samuel Omorodion Aghehowa. You might think that name sounds familiar. Well, it will sound familiar indeed, because it was a bit weird. When we were bidding for John Duran, nearly a year ago now, I guess, isn't it? But, you know, way back in June or whenever it might have been, Duran was very much our first choice, but the second choice was always this guy, Omorodion. Now, you would remember that he was the Atlético Madrid striker and very, very highly sought after and very much, I think, in the profile of a Duran-type player. And he was second choice, but somehow he managed to slip to third choice and the deal didn't get done. But we could have signed this guy, and we could have signed this guy for less than £20 million. Now, I think he went from Atlético Madrid to Porto, which is where he is now, for something like 15 million or 12 million, but they had a sell-on clause of 50% Atlético Madrid. So if they sell him for 60 million now, Atlético Madrid get 30 million, something like that. But we were in for him, and so were Chelsea at the time as well. And we came very, very close, but we didn't pull the trigger. Anyway, as I understand it now, it's more than a quiet inquiry. I'm not sure if it's an official bid, but basically we have lodged our intent to try and buy the player. Before you get too excited, it's a no. We can't have him. We can't afford him. Porto have already turned down 60 million euros for this player, and I believe we went higher than that, but they want closer to 80, and we can't get anywhere near it. Apparently the player himself wants 180 grand a week. He's just become too rich for us. Reading between the lines, in the period when we did nothing, he got too expensive for us. He got too good. You could almost say the same happened with John Duran, where our first bid for him, we could have got him for 40. We were, and ahhing and bidding 36, 37, whatever it was. And then, well, firstly, we pissed him and his representatives off anyway. But even if we hadn't done that, in the first half of this season, he became too good that we couldn't get him anymore. We're not getting these players early enough. And just before anyone says, oh, this is the club saying that, we tried. This has not come from the club. This news has not come from the club. As I understand it, both Kyle Macaulay and Graham Potter, not necessarily in that order, have asked the club to make the bid. They've basically turned around and said, this is our guy, go and get him. Now, that feeds into a lot of other stuff, doesn't it, really, about other strikers. We'll get to that in a little bit. West Ham, whatever, let their interest be known to Porto, and it has been that. No, it just ain't going to happen. We've been told we're nowhere near, not for the first time either. And I think yesterday, ex-West Ham United employee listed a number of players, a group of players who had featured during a Benfica v Porto game, and it was 4 or 5 players that ex-West Ham United employee said West Ham are looking at these players. Well, he was absolutely right. There were scouts at that game, and I don't know which other players we were looking at, but this I certainly do know. So he was bang on with that, and we've gone to try and get this player. Very frustrating, very annoying, excellent player. But again, this is the value of good scouting. This is why you take a punt. And I guess in many respects we did that with Luis Guilherme. And West Ham are just in such a position that if we wait, we can't wait for potential to become not as good as it can be, because I don't think necessarily this player is as good as he can be. And he's absolutely ripped it up in Porto, by the way. Let's have a look at his stats. He has 16 goals in 24 matches, 3 assists. Powerful striker, Spanish international. He's only 20 years of age. We often say it. We say it in Hammer Chat. You get one chance to get these players, and that was it. It was last summer. It ain't now. We just do not have the financial muscle to go and get him. So, just really, really frustrating actually to miss out on this player. If we're going to take any positives from it at all, then I think it's that West Ham are very much in the market for a player. How this sits with the FFP stuff, with the suggestion that we're skint, I don't know. Maybe West Ham already know that a player is leaving and we're going to get money for him. Perhaps that's the case. We spent a long time this week already talking about Mohamed Kudus, so maybe he could be the one. Who knows? I doubt very much that we've got... If they'd already rejected 60 million euros and ours was higher, maybe we bid 65 million euros. What that is in pounds, I don't know. But if we got that sort of money, then maybe. Oh, who knows? Who knows? There are going to be a number of players that do leave, and I'm sure we've got some offers on the table for some of our players. But I think it shows that we're in the market for a striker. Where does this leave us with Jonathan David? Where does this leave us with Liam Delap? That's interesting. Before I get on to that, can I please point in the direction of Hammers Chat's Patreon page? What's Hammers Chat's Patreon page? It's our third Hammers Chat channel. Basically, you get loads of additional content, loads of competitions, loads of really good reasons in terms of us giving you your time for less than £1 a week. But the main reason we want you to join is so as we can keep Hammers Chat going, basically. So as we can still keep uploading a video every day on both channels, myself and Gio. And a big part of that, well, is you guys watching these horrible adverts, which I know are very annoying. Our wonderful sponsors like ETC Sports, but mainly our patrons. Without our patrons, we wouldn't be able to do this anymore. The link is in the description below. It's patreon.com/HammersChat. And we'd like you to go and give it a whirl. You don't even have to pay the first time, by the way. You can do a 7-day trial. If you like what you see, then sign up. There are 3 separate tiers of which you can support it, but at the lowest one, it's £3.60 a month. That's all it is, £3.60 a month. No VAT, or all that's already factored in. So if there's something that interests you, if you'd like to help support Hammers Chat, please check out the link below, or just put in Google Hammers Chat Patreon. That's probably the quickest way for you to find it. We very much appreciate your support. Jonathan David, the longer this goes on, the more I think we're likely to get him, the less I want him. It is funny because I'm going to contradict myself now. I don't think West Ham can go and get top quality players. But I also don't think Jonathan David is a top quality player. The more I've seen, the less I just don't think he's suited to what we do. I think he probably needs quite a lot of opportunities to score his goals. I don't know. I've not looked at his conversion rate or whatever the case may be. That's for smarter people than me. I don't look at him and think... I've watched him a lot. And I've watched him a lot for, when I say them, I mean Leo. I've watched him a lot for a very good reason. For Jonathan David, for Angel Gomez, and also this Haraldson guy they got in attacking midfield. I think he's a wonderful player. So there's 3 players I like watching and I'm interested in. And I think, well, West Ham are actively trying to sign 2 of them. And the third one I think we should be trying to sign. So you see a lot of them. The more I watch, the less I'm inclined to believe that David is what we need. He's a free transfer, but he won't come cheap. He will cost a lot of money, and it will impact any other signings we've got to go and make. And you're probably saying, well, hold on a second, you say not top level. No, but if you can't get top level, then you probably want strikers that can do the things that your system needs. And... well, Füllkrug's one of those. I don't think we can rely on Füllkrug. Look, as I mentioned, I've read a lot of things at the start of the week after the Bournemouth game, which saying, people that doubted Nicholas Füllkrug, we should build our team around him. It's almost like his really good performance against Bournemouth has sort of induced a collective amnesia that people have forgotten about his injury record. It's horrendous. We can't build anything around him. I want him to stay, and if he's here, it's a right old Brucey bonus. But we can't build anything around him. We really can't. We would be The mental thing to do would be to think, oh, Füllkrug's back, we don't need to buy a striker. No, we need to get a striker. We really do. Can't go into next season relying on Füllkrug. And well, Antonio hasn't even been offered a new deal yet, but you know what I'm saying. So we've got to get someone. I think if you're going to do that, then we probably do need someone with a bit of physical presence. If we spend... I think... David's representatives want something like 10 million. I think David will want close to a 10 to 15 million pound signing on fee. I think he'll want big wages. You're looking at 5-year deal, 40, 50 million pound package. It is not free, far from it. It's funny, there was some reports yesterday that Liam Delap's buyout clause might only be 30 million. Not only, but I think you're far better off doing somebody like that. All right, if you can't get top level, then at least maybe buy someone that might go on to become top level. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. That's those are my thoughts on it. Not, yeah. I guess I'm pleased to hear that we got the ambition to get someone in, but I'm annoyed that we left this so late. There's videos on this channel from June and July talking about this player. Very, very good player. We looked at him at the time. We looked on this channel. We looked at him. We thought, oh, he looks the real deal. Seemed to have it all. Good finishing, pace, strength. Obviously, youth on his side as well. Yeah, big error. Big error. You've got to get these guys early. You really do. Maybe there was someone else, as I say, ex-West Ham United employee said there was four or five other players whose names I forget now who we were looking at, and maybe, you know, it's one of those. But West Ham are not in the position that we were. We're not. It's hard for these players, and even if nothing else, I think somebody like that. It's weird. You've got to be ambitious, you do, but you've also got to be a little bit realistic. And as much as the big clubs want him now, he's going to go to a big club, and you'd probably look at West Ham and think, no, I'm not so sure. I think what we need to do, though, is probably get a stellar signing and a big signing over the line, because they will look at West Ham and think, well, hold on a second, Kudus is leaving, Paquetá's leaving, possibly, probably, and that doesn't entice people to want to come and join. So, yeah, lots to do. I must say I'm very worried about the transfer. I'm worried about next season, truth be known. I'm worried about quite a lot of it. So I think we need a big signing over the line, which will encourage other players to join. I think this would have done that. I think this would be a statement of intent. I think if West Ham went and gone and signed one of the best young strikers in Europe, then it would have made a real statement. But last summer, he was still one of the best young strikers in Europe, and we didn't go and get him.